great effort by our team tonight. It was a sloppy game in a lot of different ways, especially with penalties and offensively shooting ourselves in the foot. But we did what we needed to do to win a Coastal Division game, and that was important for us. So we don't have a whole lot of time to think about it, because we got to move on and get ready for Pitt.
Larry, the defense forced turnovers on 5 of Virginia's last 6 drives. Why have they been so good in the second half the last couple weeks?
Well, I think one thing is I think our coaches do a great job at halftime, and it's not about all the adjustments and speeches and all that. It's really just staying calm and being patient with the guys and talking them through what's really happening, and then letting them adjust to it. And our guys have played really well in the second half.
What does it say about your team to overcome all the penalties, the early turnovers, lots of missed 2-point conversion, the bad punt, all that stuff?
I can tell you, those guys now, they never panic. I mean, they really don't. They're a pretty tight group. They feel good about themselves as far as, when they say I got your back, they mean it. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. It's not conditionally. They mean it, and they feel like they're going to take care of each other.
Larry, is this a sign in some ways of how far you guys have come, given that you can win somewhat convincingly in mid?
Yeah, I hope so. I think we have a very good football team. I really do. And I've said it before. I think the chemistry, the leadership, our locker room, I think that's what's driving this football team. And they're a lot of fun to coach. They really are. Even with the mistakes and all those things, they'll get it corrected. We'll get it corrected, and because all those things are correctable. It would be really bad if we couldn't correct them. So they're correctable, and the problem is this week is you don't have much time to do it, and you can't sit there and really teach and learn from the things that you did this week. You got to move on.
Along those lines, first 5 games of this winning streak that you won by an average of 28 points. Do you buy into the notion that a sloppy game like this is something that's a good thing for the team?
Well, I'm gonna make it good no matter what. It's a win, so we're gonna make it good. We'll point out the problems that we had, but how we overcame them is very important. And those are the lessons. Is we can overcome problems, because there's going to be more problems coming in the future. There's no doubt about it. Some of them we'll create ourselves. Some of them the other team we play will create it for us, and we'll have to find a way to overcome them.
Coach, Elijah carried the ball 21 times tonight. Was there sort of a plan coming into the game to feed him more, or was that just what the game dictated?
I think it was what the game dictated. We came in at halftime trying to figure out what we needed to do in the second half, and it was like, well, there's nothing that we've done in the first half that isn't working, so let's just keep doing it, and hopefully we'll quit, getting penalties, and we'll quit shooting ourselves in the foot. And we did enough. Defense 13 points in the first half and didn't give up anything in the second half, and got 4 turnovers. That's you're gonna make it go.
Feeling on Elijah's performance tonight?
Oh, I thought he did a great job. He ran hard. He ran really hard. Got the ball in the end zone we needed to. I don't want that ball popping out. I don't want him to have to look at it. But he assured me that it was in. So he was right.
Shaquille Rashad, consistent throughout the night, but that one possession he was huge. He had the stop for a 3-yard loss, and a few plays later had the interception in the end zone. Just kind of address his play tonight and how much better he's performing seemingly every week.
Yeah, and I'll say Shaq and Shotman tonight. They were all over the field, both of them, and both of those guys were in charge of getting us in the right situations according to all their personnel and all their movement and adjustments. And so there was a lot on those linebackers tonight, and those guys came to play and made plays.
You talking about Malik's performance?
About the pass interference at the end of the first half.
I get upset about a lot of things, but they called it, and I got to live to learn with it. I got to learn to live with it. I got to do a better job of controlling myself.
Can you talk about Malik's performance tonight?
Yeah, Malik, is been thrown into the starting lineup for the last 2 weeks, and he played his blood off last week, and then you saw what he did tonight. He had 2 picks. He played really well. He had a couple pass interference calls that I know he didn't, he wished he didn't have, but he played well, and he's done a nice job stepping into that role.
Coach, you talked about Malik, and obviously Brian Walker also had a pretty strong game back there. Just talk about how the secondary is kind of coming into its own right now with those guys.
Yeah, I think if you look at what they've done, their whole body of work this fall, those guys have done a great job. I think Charles has done a really good job with those guys, setting a very high standard for them and holding them to it. And so I'm proud of the way they're playing. It hadn't been perfect, but they're they're fighting, scratching, and clawing for everything that somebody gets.
With the short week this week, what is the plan going forward?
Yeah, we'll give the coaches and we'll stay in tonight, we'll start working on Pitt tonight when we leave here. The players will have off tomorrow, and we will game plan tomorrow, we'll practice Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then get on a plane.
How would you evaluate Andre Smith's play at middle linebacker? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to go look at the film, and I don't have time to look at it, right? So, he's a true freshman. He started the game. I didn't hear JP saying anything negative about him during the game, so I imagine he played pretty good.
All right, thank you, everybody.